right. So you're back home now.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair's a mess.
Yeah, I'm dirty.
But good for working outside all day. Hey, McKinley. So we've got a couple of check-ins that we've got to catch up on with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so check-in number 1 is part 2 of ACOWAR.
Yeah.
So do you remember what part 2 was about?
See. I'm trying to remember where it started, and I think it started a little right after she had escaped.
Yeah, it starts...
Right, and like as soon as they get into Lucian's father's territory,
I believe it's somewhere around there.
It starts. But yeah, I enjoyed part 2. Like between her escape and then Azrael and Kat blasting down onto the ice.
Yeah.
And then seeing how Eris was then versus sort of how he's coming around now is
huge shift.
Yeah.
For your first nibit into who Eris is, though, it was a...
Yeah, I hated him for the first bit because he was just like he acted kind of like he was just I think a little worse than
shit, worse than me? Fuck!
Okay. Eris is a bit egotistical.
I mean, I can be egotistical too if I want to be. I just think you prefer me not to be.
What else?
It's like he goes from being over the top, like past how you are, and where he's at now is about where you are.
Okay, so what about part 2 was about like the sisters, a lot about Nesta and Elaine, about their transition into being Fae.
Like Elaine, I absolutely hated well, both of them for the start. Elaine just because she just could not accept the fact that she was now Fae and wanted to be human because she was still in love with
practically
Grayson.
Starved herself.
Yeah. And then
the whole Lucian thing.
Yeah, and then him.
Did Lucian still build like for you? Did he have his redemption?
He started to, but after what I just read from, he's kind of gone back down. But yeah, he started to kind of redeem himself in my eyes from part 2, just because he kind of understood that he had to kind of distance himself from her, but he kind of, like you could tell he wanted at the same time to be
around
her.
It's the whole mating bond.
Yeah. And then Nesta she's still like that.
She has a moment, but she's...
Yeah, she does have a moment in part 3.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't remember.
You remember what you rated part 2?
I think I rated it like a 7 out of 10. I think.
What about Pharaoh? She grew a lot
she also
during.
met Braxis in part 2, I think.
Yeah. And then the whole thing with the bone carver. But you'll get more details of that in part 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Cassian being scared of Braxis is kind of funny.
It is. Like, he goes down there to rescue Pharaoh and Nesta. At the same time, he's like,
teach their own.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going to do what I can if you're not out by a certain time. I'm sorry. I love that we got a lot more of Cassian. I love the fact that we got a lot more of Cassian.
I do too.
I think he's absolutely hilarious. I love him.
Yeah. The thing he has going with him and Azrael is pretty funny too.
What about Amren and Nesta's relationship with one another? The way that Amren kind of just took her under her wing.
It didn't really surprise me because like Amren's more of an outcast.
She's kind of bitchy.
Yeah, and Nesta falls into that same category, and she Yeah, she bought a lot.
Turn this to peanut butter now.
She bought 3 jars of those.
I know, I love it.
But yeah, it didn't surprise me really the fact that Amron kind of took under her wing to teach her about her abilities.
I love the fact that Amron was the one who knew what Nesta was before anybody else, including Nesta.
Mm-hmm.
So like it shows you exactly like what type of entity Amron is.
Yeah.
So I would love a little small story about Amron.
I would like a story about
feel
how
like
she escaped.
I would want like a little small novella just centered around Amron.
Like
I feel
how
like
she escaped the prison to how she.
I want more.
Really, just how she ended up in the world to begin with.
Well, I know how she got there. I know how she got there.
Okay.
You find that out.
Another.
Yeah, they kind of give you, they kind of sprinkle it in, but
Okay.
yeah. All right, so that's part 2.